Here we are, Spiritual Reflections at 9:30 live, where
Right, right.
yeah, we give them an overview of what you're going to do at Wednesday's
good morning,
class today.
David. Welcome to.
Wednesday's class today at 11 at Heartlight. You're starting a series. You did an introduction last week, and you're starting a new series. Class 1 is today, Karmic Relief, the Unawakened You. And you're going to dive today into what is the pain body and how is it formed. So tell us
Right.
about that.
This subject, which has been around for about 20 years and made very well known by Eckhart Tolle, has been a very powerful teaching that's touched millions of people around the world. I just felt like it was time to revisit this information due to the fact of where we were then and where we are now. With all this new information and knowledge and people attending all these seminars and workshops, we've totally changed our consciousness to a level that I think we can receive some of the more important older teachings in a new way. So this is why that I'm beginning this series of classes beginning today, called Karmic Relief. Now, I know the brain wants to see comic relief, but this is karmic relief.
There you go.
Karma deals with the issues that we have experienced in life that have been emotionally charged to the point that we have registered it as some kind of a vibrational pattern somewhere in our body.
A pattern inside the body. And so does this happen from childhood? Does it happen, do we build it as we go with all the stuff we don't take care of, or what?
Well, usually it's not a one-time incident. It's not everything you think and everything you experience that is patterned in your energy body, but it accumulates because of repeating these painful experiences over and over in our mind through thoughts. So painful emotions that are not fully faced, not accepted, and released. See, a lot of things we think we release because we bury it and don't want to deal with it.
Right.
And we think, therefore, out of sight, out of mind type of thinking. But actually, it's not. It remains a blueprint somewhere in the energy bodies, the mental, the emotional body, or in the case of this class, it's going to be, we're going to learn about the etheric blueprint that drives what happens to our physical body. But this can also be childhood, adolescence, and accumulates. It's not what just happened back at a certain time, but it's accumulating throughout our life and remains active. So now the pain body can also, get this, include inherited collective human pain.
Oh, so it's not just our stuff. It's what the human race is doing as a whole and creating a pain body with wars and killings and all that.
Exactly. And working with people for many, many years, as I have on a individual basis, working with them with sound, vibration, energy work, I have very much discovered that people believe they're detached from their past experiences. But we're in this class going to find out those past experiences that have been emotionally charged are very much alive in us, even out of our conscious range into the subconscious world. And we're driven by the subconscious world every day more than we are the conscious world.
Right. I know we can also contribute to the pain body. Something that happened years ago, and we still it subconsciously filters through how we see the world and how we deal with things. Is that a correct assumption?
Right. It's going to form what we're going to call perception.
Right.
So our perception of the past is the lens in which we look at our present. And of course, how we're going to move forward into the future are based upon this lens of how that we think it was. One thing that I've learned is that people don't really remember the exact experience they had, but they make up a story about it in some way, and they believe the story rather than what actually has taken place. So it's important to change your story. And that's part of what we're going to be covering in this series of classes.
Right. The voice in your head is not always the truth of who you are.
Absolutely. That is so true.
You've got an interesting quote on the top of the handout this week that says the psychological rule is that if an inner situation is not made conscious, it will happen outside as fate.
Exactly. And that goes back to the old karmic law of what you reap, you sow,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So we're seeding our life continuously by how that we experience certain events that goes on. But when it gets to the level of the emotional body, it's charged with energy. And it's almost chemically, electrically charged until it gets into our head and into our brain, and eventually it ends up in our body, affecting our immune system, our heart, all the physical things that we end up later in years, all started way back at some other time and has remained as a blueprint in the body.
Well, you've done a lot of work over the years with vibration and frequency and sound, and this all sounds like we're everything that you're talking about contributes to a lower vibration.
Exactly. And of course, when we come into the body and identify with the body, that's a more dense, slower frequency than where we've come from as a more spiritual soul being
Right.
that was coming into the incarnation.
Excellent. Well, I invite people to join us today at 11 o'clock at heartlightcharlotte.org for the class one of this. If you can't make it live, it'll be available as a recording there for a while. Then it will eventually, all of this whole series will turn into a class on the Academy for Spiritual Awakening, which more information about that can be found at davidhulse.com. Just spell your last name Hulse, Hulse. We say pulse with an H, right?
That's right.
And they can join you there. So thanks for joining us today, giving us a preview of today's class. This is going to be a 6-week series, so this is class one of the 6 weeks, and we're just going to dive into what is the pain body, how is it formed. Next week is how does it feed itself.
And we might mention that the first introduction was last Wednesday, and it's online if you want to kind of catch up with what we first presented for the
Right,
class.
you also did the series introduction on this at the during the Sunday service, so
Yes,
that was I think almost a better overview of the whole series. So if you want to get a feel for where we're going here, that Sunday service might be a good one to check out too. Anything, all of that we're talking about is on heartlightcharlotte.org. So thanks for joining us today, and hope to see you at 11 at the class.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.